Changan wants you to begin your EV journey with them. This is why they're releasing 4 EVs, with one of them being this, the Changan Nevo Q05. For this to qualify as an electric vehicle, it first has to be able to run with nothing but electricity or with the electric motor. And yes, the Changan Nevo Q05 can do just that. So it does have a gasoline engine here, a 1.5 liter, but at the same time, if the fuel tank is empty, this can actually still run because it is also a plug-in hybrid on its own right. As for the transmission, this has a DHT or a dedicated hybrid transmission. When you put everything together, this has a total of 212 horsepower and a whopping 330 Newton meters of torque. For a vehicle this size, that is a lot of torque. If you maximize the whole system, so a full tank of gas and a full charge, this can reach up to 1,215 kilometers. And if you use this as a pure EV, you can get up to 125 kilometers worth of range. So this is a Changan car. It's actually based on one. And if you look carefully, there's like Changan branding because it uses Changan parts. But if you look at the logo, this is what differentiates it from the ICE lineup. This is the Nevo badge over here. Just like the new Changans, this has LED headlights and it's automatic. You have very wonderfully implemented day running lights. And at the back, you have a really nice rear LED tail light. And I mean, just look at it. What I like is it's conservative looking. It's not too flashy, but it looks like something ripped out of the future. So one of the quirky features that the Changan Nevo Q05 has is remote park in and park out. Disclaimer, we were trying this a while ago and we found out that there's no auto braking for it. So if you do plan to use this feature, you have to be very vigilant on what's in front of it and what's behind it. So keep that in mind. With that being said, let me demonstrate to you the function. So imagine if the parking's really tight and there are cars on both sides. That's one of the use cases of this car. So you put the car in position, put it on lock, and then on the key here, you can turn on the remote start with one long hold. And you'll actually see it here on the menu. This is why I suggest you do this facing forward so that you can see the remote start functioning. And then from there, one long hold on this one, on the trunk opening. And then as you notice, the hazards will start turning on, which means it's ready for remote control. And actually, that's why I suggested that you park facing forward so that you can see the screen, the infotainment system. It has there that the remote system's on. And then the unlock button will make it go forward, and the lock button will make it go backward. Pretending I cannot see the front because it's blocked by cars, I can use the screen. So when I make it go forward, I can see on the screen how close I am to the wall. So moving, one more click, and that should be done. So that's how you use the remote in, and just do it the same thing. Long hold on the remote start, long hold on the trunk, and then when it's activated, press the lock button so that it moves back. And that is the remote park in and park out of the Changan Nevo Q05. Now we're inside the Changan Nevo Q05, and right off the bat, I can say that in terms of interior design, I think it's the right amount of futuristic. So in regular car guide fashion, let's talk about the interior from left to right. So we'll start off with a 10-inch LCD instrument cluster. This is where it starts to feel high-tech because what is displayed, there's a lot of information that's essential in terms of driving with an electric vehicle. So you have the amount of power that you're using and you have your speed over here. The layout's well designed, it's easy on the eye. I love the high contrast, and then when you start turning on the lights, from a white background, it turns to a black background, which is better for driving at night. You know, it's those simple touches that you can really tell that the engineers at Changan, they're really paying close attention of what's not only convenient, but what is like best for the driver and passengers. And then here at the center, we have a 12.3-inch infotainment system that is paired with 6 Pioneer speakers. So in terms of audio, for you audiophiles out there, it actually produces really nice outputs. So especially for those long drives where you just want to listen to music, and this being an EV, it's going to be quiet, I think it's a very wonderful touch. So if you know me in CarGuide.PH, I'm very particular with the technicalities of the car. So when I asked them, can you drive this car with an empty tank? They said yes. So on that regard, it is an electric vehicle. But more than that, if you look down here, there are actually different drive modes that you can do on the fly. And you can choose between range extended EV, you can choose to be a hybrid EV, and then you can choose to be a pure EV. So with this power of choice, you can drive this car and have it work for you the way you want to. But it gets even deeper than that. So on this infotainment system, there's like a car icon here, which is basically the vehicle information system. And like the usual, you'll see like the silhouette of a car, the battery charge, and then when you drive it, you start to see like how the exchange of energy happens. And if you swipe, there are other controls that you can turn on and off, like hill descent, auto hold, and all that stuff. But just like your cell phones or laptops, there's these 3 dots over here. And if you're a techie guy like me, you know that means there are more options. So if you click on those 3 dots, you'll see the plethora of options you have here. So here it says your powertrain mode, and there's pure electric, mixed, range extension, intelligence, and special scenarios. So to go over this quickly, you basically have modes wherein it will prioritize maximizing the energy. So that's conservation mode. Then you have comfort, you have sport, and then you have a personalized one. But one, like with the amount of ways you can drive this car. So like what I said, there's pure electric, there's mixed, and then there's range extension. There's also intelligence wherein it will analyze your driving and pick the setting that suits you. And then there's special scenario over here. So this special scenario, there's long distance, so that's maximizing the range. There's mountain, there's emergency, and there's a setting here that I personally like because it's very convenient. It is called parking charge. So you go through the menus. When you reach parking charge, it'll ask you, how much do you want to charge? So you can put here, let's say up to 80%, and then it'll ask for your charging speed. So if you pick slow, it will be conservative on the gasoline engine, but if you pick fast, it will maximize the charge. And then click save. So if you're waiting for your family member, for your friend or your loved one because they have Filipino time, you can use this setting so that you can charge the Changan Nevo Q05 while waiting. How cool is that? Having all this, you can clearly see why Changan Auto Philippines brought in this car. Because not only do they want you to start your EV journey with this car, they really want you to start your EV journey with the power of choice. And it shows from their selection of vehicles coming out up to what you can do with their EV. And that's a roundup of the Changan Nevo Q05. If you want to see this for yourself and the other latest EVs of Changan, you can check out the upcoming Manila International Auto Show happening on April 10 to 13. And don't you worry, if you miss that, you can always check out the nearest Changan dealership to see this for yourself. And if you want more details, you can check out their website. And for reviews and other info, stick around with CarGuide.PH.